Hey YouTube, Dafrogtoad here with a quick knife review. Now this is my SOG Flash 2, and I carry this on every day, and I have a review out there of it. But there are some times when this knife is just a little much, a little large, and quite frankly it's a little aggressive looking. Some of the situations I find myself in, quite frankly, around people who may not understand that a black-handled knife is just that, a black-handled knife. So I needed something I could carry in the smallest version of my stuff here that, well, would be a little more socially acceptable to many different kinds of people. So while the Flash is my everyday knife and lives in my backpack that I carry every day, I did need something kind of to augment this. Enter the Kershaw Leek. Now I'm not going to go into a whole bunch of the specifics, you can look it up. It's a 3-inch blade, aluminum handle. You can have it tip up or tip down. I actually prefer to carry it the other way, but I don't have the tool to take that off. I need to get a set of tools for this knife. Now this does have assisted opening, and I like that a bunch. It's very easy to manipulate one-handed, and it opens right now, and it opens with authority. It's got a good blade shape for the small detail work. You know, this is not a tactical knife. It is not, you know, even in my opinion, it's not one of the better EDC blades, mostly because of that blade shape. There's just no belly there. And not having the belly, we'll roll that SOG back in. Not having the belly like the SOG has right here. Hey, it does limit it, but this isn't an EDC knife. This is, I would describe this as a gentleman's knife. Draw your own conclusions as to why I'm carrying it, but that is really what it is. Now it does have the little Kershaw safety. Pop that forward, the blade can open. Pop that back, and the blade can. Now one of the other differences I did notice with this one is when you compare it to the SOG, which has what I consider, you know, one of the most ridiculous safeties in the knife world. I just don't understand what's there. If you're carrying the SOG, it's got to open well beyond that point before it opens by itself. And when it's not open to that point, it actually tends to spring back closed by itself. The Kershaw, however, I don't even know if I can, it's very difficult one-handed just to open that partially. But if it opens a little, it sits there. Opens a little more, it still sits there. Opens just a tad more, and it's right about there is where that spring's going to catch. So, okay, if I were carrying this in my pocket, I have to admit that having that safety on so it can't open is probably a good idea. So if you decide to pick up one of these, you know, some people just go ahead and tighten that down so it can't move. Yeah, I'm not going to do that, because on the rare occasion where I put this in my pocket, I want to make sure that if it does take that just the right hit, that that isn't happening in my pocket. That could get a mite uncomfortable. Now it is a liner lock, which I've never been a huge fan of liner locks. Maybe it's just because I'm a little old-fashioned. It works. For this use, it works just fine. You know, I'm going to use this for little detail work, maybe a splinter, cleaning my fingernails, you know, opening an occasional box or envelope. This is only going to be in my pocket if I'm out in a situation that's just a lot more professional than I normally am. Now you do have tip up or tip down, like I mentioned. Sorry, lefties. No dice on that one. You can take it apart if you need to clean it. And as you can see, you can see through it. So cleaning it from that perspective is not bad. You know, all in all, I chose this one for its size, and I did want to have one good pointy detail knife. I like the Kershaw stuff. You know, I'm like a lot of people. If I can buy something that's made in America, I will. And this is. I think I got this on eBay, I'm pretty sure, and I think with shipping it was under 30. I don't know, the MSRP is probably around 40, maybe 50, I don't remember right offhand. I've been carrying this one now for several months. So all in all, I would have to classify this as a gentleman's pocket knife, a large gentleman's pocket knife. Not tactical, nothing else. So if you're looking for something like that, hey, this could be the one you want. One of the nice things about the Leeks, like a lot of the Kershaws, is that there's a lot of them. There's a lot of colors, handles, and different models that you can get of this. I happen to like this black and red. I just think it looks cool. I've seen the blue ones, the the black ones, the stainless steel ones. There's a really cool rainbow looking one. So there are some people who just collect, you know, the Leeks themselves. You could have a nice little collection of just the Kershaw Leeks. Now, as far as the pocket clip goes, yeah, I really don't care for it. I think it's a little much for a knife this size. In fact, we describe it as kind of a canoe paddle. It works, no doubt about it. You know, I have clipped this into my short pocket on occasion, and it does clip into the wallet that I keep it in. But right now, I'm actually on the fence about that. I might actually take this off and just use the lanyard hole and let the knife ride in the pocket of my small wallet here, just like that. So, there it is, the Kershaw Leek. Does it come sharp from the box? Yup. Good job, Kershaw, on that. No complaints whatsoever. Is there anything about this knife I would change? Outside of the canoe paddle? Nah, not really. This could be smaller. I mean, it rides nice in the pocket. When it's down in your pocket, only that much is sticking out. That's cool. It's kind of a light knife. I guess it could get flipped out of your pocket if you were walking around in the woods or something. So yeah, I could see where the clip maybe could be a little lighter. I think it's a little smaller. I think it's out of proportion, and it hides way too much of that pretty handle. You know, the edges are radiused. When you hold on to it, it's real comfortable. I have medium-sized hands. It's real comfortable. For those of you that care, yeah, there's some jimping up there. It's really for looks. I can barely feel it. You can probably hear. It's just on the spine of the blade. It's not on the handle at all. And there's a small bit down here that's actually a little more functional. It's dull. It's not going to grab your fingers, but this is, again, this is not a combat knife. I would not want to have to put it into that role. Personally, I'm not a knife fighter, and I'm certainly not going to, excuse me, desire to use this one if I had to anyway. So all in all, it's a good all-around knife. I'll just call it a large gentleman's knife. And if you like them, take a peek. They're pretty cool. All right, y'all have a great day.